I'm like, trust me, I've got this.
Yeah, I
And
think
Samantha, I'll ask you this too: is not just the business side. Do I push on David on the personal life side as well?
absolutely. We're
And
finally
has
getting
that
vacation.
how has that helped with you
So,
guys?
yeah, go ahead.
We finally get a break in February. We've never had a vacation, never had a honeymoon. We've never seen the
It's
ocean, and we're going to Hawaii. So that'll be
Yeah,
fun.
I'm so excited for you guys.
So, and that's the great thing about Kelly and his team is they keep me reminding myself of what really matters. Why are we doing this?
My name's Kelly McKay, of course. I'm a coach and consultant, and David's somebody who's been with us for a little while, and David Redenius, Freeze and Flare Heating and Air.
Hey, hey.
And I know when David came to start working with us, you'd been in business for a couple years, is that right? Or was it your second year?
We just moved into our second year, so well, actually, technically, it was our second year, but I it's hard to count the
Okay.
first year because I was still full time in my previous employer's role
Yeah,
as a manager.
got it.
So our first year was all investing, right? We actually lost
Yeah,
money
buying
our
all the
first year.
tools and the truck and trying to figure all that out. Yeah.
Yeah, we spent more than we brought in, but that was by design. You know, you got to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
So we tooled up, got a service van going, and then our next year we did 201,000, and then that's when we
Got
got
it.
with you. That's when we got with your program. So
Yeah,
we've
and I
been
know
doing that.
you had like a little bit of money, a little bit. I mean, it wasn't what you expected it would be, I'm sure, like most of us. But it was still kind of a stretch for you to join at that time, wasn't it? I mean, especially because you hadn't invested in your business education at that point.
We had just bought a truck, so we were down to like 36, something like that, and
Sure. What would you say to somebody who was thinking about joining the program who only had maybe 15 grand in the bank?
great question. So knowing what I know, hindsight's always 2020. If
Yeah.
I kind of saw it in my mind's eye, how it would be. So even if you had $15,000 to your name for your business, making the investment is going to pay off dividends. I could tell you the numbers today. I mean, we're running. We've been with you guys
Yeah.
2 years, and we're at 23.42% profit right now, to almost 24%. We're up there.
And I think a lot of times people think if they just pay, then they've done their part. And that's not true. I mean, you have to put in the work. And so I don't ever take, and I hope that I've never come off that way with even with David. I don't take responsibility for David's success. I just know that what we share. Now, what David does with that information, I'm here to support and encourage and sometimes kick you in the ass to make you get stuff done, but it's still on you. Like, you're the hero of your own journey. I'm somebody who just wants to help you because I know the pain and the struggle and how hard it can be for so many years if we don't make the right moves.
Well, I tell you, what was swimming through my head, back to that question, if somebody had 15 grand remaining,
Yeah.
I had 36, right? I made the investment from going from 36,000 in 2 years to over nearly half a million in profit. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't go wrong joining the group.
You
And I'll
can't
say
get
what
that
was
investing in the stock market.
no, no, why invest in the stock market when you can take the knowledge that's provided and beat those returns? I mean, you're not going to get 23.42% net on anything in the market. Not that
And
you just
especially
don't
not,
get that
yeah,
lucky.
not as I'm not that lucky for sure, but especially in such a short amount of time. I mean, that's the thing too, as I think that a lot of business owners, they don't, because they don't have the information, they can't leverage the knowledge, even if you think because I know when I was in my business, I thought, well, I'm reading books, I'm watching YouTube videos, I'm trying to learn. Like, there can't be anything else out there for me to learn that's going to help me get any more better results than I'm already getting, because I'm already pushing, trying to figure this out. But that's not true. There's very specific things that are not found in books, and they're not found on YouTube.
Experience.
It comes
And
from experience. Yeah.
well, I'll say this. So, what resonated with me is I saw one of your videos, right? Because I'd been
Yeah.
following you for at least 6 months before I made contact,
Yeah.
or
I think
maybe even
that's
longer than
pretty
that.
normal. Hey, I've done that myself. I recently, there was an ad that kept popping up, just as a side note here, and somebody that I wanted to invest in for a mentor for me, because I believe in mentors, man. I believe in like continuing your education. And so I saw ads back in December of last year, and I just wound up signing up last month. And holy cow, like I'm so happy that I did it. And that was even for me, I've been investing in things like this, programs myself for ever since I started, because once I learned that you invest some money in yourself, then holy cow, it never stops paying.
I
And
agree. And
and
knowledge is
I
power.
I literally just August 17th, this is September that we're talking here, 2024. I literally just last month spent $17,500 on my own education. Again, it's not the first time. I've spent
It's
hundreds
never
of
ending.
thousands. It's never ending. That's right.
Yeah, the day you should stop learning is the day you're dead. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I
I
mean, keep
agree.
learning.
I agree.
Keep
Yeah,
learning.
yeah.
But
So
to go from a $201,000 revenue year, joining the program, and now we're at 970,000. You can see the growth in 2 years. That was 2 years.
yeah,
That's insane growth. We're the
yeah, and I
fastest
think it's I
growing
think it's
company.
important to remind people too, because when you go on Facebook or you go on and you see in these other groups, because I'm a part of a bunch of those groups, and I'll see people saying, first year 2.3 million, and I have to just say that your location matters a lot. And
100%.
you're the thing that's so unique about, it's not necessarily unique because there's hundreds of thousands of businesses out there in these quote unquote like rural areas, like where I live. Like there's less than 9,300 people in my town where my shop is. I grew up 10 miles away from here in a town of less than 1,500 people.
Mhm.
It's small town America.
Yep,
This is not Phoenix, Arizona. This is not Dallas, Texas. This is,
exactly.
and so but the reality is you can still build incredible wealth. You can still build a multi-million dollar business. What you've done, if you were in Phoenix, for instance, you could be at 5 million already by now. That's the
I agree.
reality.
Yes. Yeah,
So
markets are definitely different. I can tell you the market issues we have is with labor, but I wasn't going to let that stop me. If you got
yeah,
labor issues, there's ways to go about it. And joining this program, you get opened up to different possibilities of retaining and gaining employees. It takes a lot of hard work. It's not easy, you know that. Every single person that works for us, I've had to be out in the field training myself. But I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm not going to let a unicorn. I'm not going to sit around waiting on a unicorn. I'm going to build them.
absolutely.
And so the leadership skills and getting the constant leadership training from the program helps reiterate why we're doing what we're doing. You know,
Yeah.
ultimately, it's about building, not just building the company, but building sustainability, and that's what you learn in this program. You learn sustainability because before the program, I was in a vicious cycle. I'd sell a bunch of jobs. Well, now I'm doing the jobs, right? Now
Yeah.
calls are coming in. I'm on an install. I can't do it. I lose business, and so it was a constant struggle to keep that work flowing. But with the program, learning how to implement different procedures and even having the contacts that you can reach out to, fellow millionaire
Yeah.
coaching people, um, and it's just amazing to go from having to do everything yourself to having 8 people now, including myself. And I would not have that growth without the knowledge. And so I saw your video and I could feel your pain, right? I could
Yeah.
sincerely see your pain. You're like, I did this shit, and I was spinning my wheels, IRS debt, and I could just picture myself in your shoes, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah.
to go down this road, man. Like literally, I'm I've got some health stuff going on, and if I don't have the help, that's just gonna make my health worse.
Yeah.
And so being able to have people to rely on, but I would not be there without the coaching. You guys help push me to make those decisions quicker than I would have otherwise.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. It's kind of like I know Coach Natalia, she uses like the macaroni thing. She says like you wouldn't, just as an example, like you wouldn't pour your the seasoning, like if you're making mac and cheese, you wouldn't pour the seasoning in your water before it even started boiling. Like there's an order in which to do things.
Yes.
You got to cook your noodles first. You got to boil your water. Like you gotta the noodles have to be done. Then you got to drain the water. Then you add your season. Put the cheeses on there if you're doing. So it's the same with your business. There's a sequence of operation, if you will. There's moves. We've created this 25 go make money methods matrix, and it's 25 moves that you have to make in order to get to the. And so we're doing a workshop, the 5 power moves to profit, and we're going to be talking about 5 of those moves that you can implement immediately into your business to start getting better results. The thing that I love about you, David, is that you're planning some time on Saturday to join us,
Yes,
and
sir.
it's because you understand that
The value.
you're never done, too. You're never done. There's always more to learn, and we have a ton to share, of course. And so I'm excited for you to learn what we're going to teach on Saturday. So,
Well,
and
so
we're
I
going to
can
be,
tell you, I'm
yeah,
excited to implement what I'm going to learn because I already see the results. So
yeah,
the
yeah,
more I can learn, the better business I can create.
absolutely.
It's all about
Absolutely.
creating the place everybody wants to work for,
Yeah, we're
and
going to talk
we've
about
done
that.
that. We've done
There's
that.
that old African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. It takes a
Yep.
team if you really want to build something of value.
Yeah, anything great in life was done with a team. I mean, I can't
Hmm.
think of many. I mean, I'm sure there's a rare occurrence, but if you get lucky, like, and even people that got lucky, like Mark Cuban as an example, he had help, he had people.
Oh, everybody. Yeah. When you think of even the greatest, athletes of all time,
Mhm.
I think the only person that comes up to my mind when you say greatest, just because I grew up watching him, which is Michael Jordan. And I think, Michael Jordan had, he had a massage therapist, he had a PR person, he had an agent. He had, of course, a flexibility coach probably, and a strength and conditioning coach. And then he had his coach, Phil Jackson, on the Chicago Bulls. Like there's all these, it's
Well,
a,
here's the beautiful thing
yeah,
about that, man. So most athletes professionally are
yeah,
bankrupt, right?
yeah,
A lot of them lose. They spend the money like it's never going to run out, and then they
yeah.
get injured or they retire, and then they're struggling. Well, Michael Jordan, he was smart. He got a financing team together, and
Hmm.
now he's with Nike. I mean, think about it. I mean, it took a team. He used his mind to develop a team to be able to perpetuate his wealth.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my mentors says that, you know, your earning potential is capped if you're still using your hands.
Yes,
You have to make the transition from always using your hands to using your mind.
yes,
And then once you do that, then you can create, leaders, other leaders within your company. And then you actually get to be an entrepreneur. And or
exactly.
if that's not cool and you don't like to do the entrepreneurial thing of just building things, then you can do whatever you want. That's the
Yeah.
reality. One of our clients, I'll share, um, and you know him, and I'll talk about him on Saturday, but he just got offered 2 million. He came to us. When I tell you this, you might realize who it is. He came to us doing $1.5 million with zero profit. And then
That's tough, man.
he immediately really tough. Yeah. Every conversation I had with him included the word burnout. The only certainty that he had was he was very certain that he was burnout.
And he was tired. Yeah. It's the only thing I
Yeah,
know. I'm freaking tired and I'm not making money.
exactly. So he jumped into the program, immediately started implementing, and we're just barely a year later. He finished last year at a little over two with 25% net,
There you go.
$500,000 net profit, right? And then he recently just got offered $2 million for somebody just called him, one of his competitors, because he's putting a hurting on him. They called him, offered him $2 million for his company. He's not going to take it. He's having
Wow.
fun now. He's
Yeah.
actually
He's like,
having fun.
oh, I got your attention now, don't I?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So no matter how long you've been in the business, I I think David realizes it. I think you realize it, David, that because my pain transferred through the video.
Yes, that's the thing. Like I could literally, I was scared to death after
Yeah.
watching that video because I could so see myself in the same shoes. And I'm
Yeah.
like, failure is not an option for me. Like
Yeah.
I put everything in this business. So why wouldn't I want to mitigate risk, right? And what's the best way to mitigate risk? Knowledge, right? If
Yeah.
you have knowledge, you have power. You can mitigate the risk. And that's the name of the game is in business is mitigating risk and making profit, right? And if you
Yeah.
mitigate risk, you make profit. It goes hand in hand.
Exactly.
Goes hand in
Yeah.
hand.
Maximize your opportunities, minimize the risk. That's what it's all about. It can feel risky when somebody first uh, determines. We're going to talk about this Saturday. It's like there's a point where we have to actually admit that we don't know what we don't know.
Exactly.
And a lot of people have a big ego. So this was just shared with me too, by one of my mentors, and he was saying like, I want you to look at your hands like this. He's like, if this is your ego and this is the amount of money that you're capable of earning, if this continues to creep up, this continues to go down. But as
I've
soon
been
as you
with
drop your ego, then the amount of money that you can create and the amount of wealth and the empire that you can build or whatever it is you want to do becomes far more likely, and it's far more a possibility.
well, joining the group, I created the ultimate mitigation of risk.
Okay.
How? By knowledge, right? I
Yeah.
didn't make mistakes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I didn't make mistakes, but I made a whole lot less than I
Yes.
would have by
Yes.
not joining the group. And so, with that being said, I mean that it's a no brainer. It's a no brainer with where we're at. And
Yeah.
so,
It's
anytime I have an opportunity to dump more knowledge into myself, I know I'm mitigating more risk. So that's why I'm joining this Saturday. It's all about
yeah.
mitigating risk. What can I do to get to the next level? Right. And joining all the coaching group classes, on
Yeah.
Zoom, and listening to the input of other owners and collaborating with you and Natalia and everybody else, it really you'll find the answers you're looking for if you don't ignore them. Right? You got to put in the work. Right?
Yeah.
Anything good in this life, you've got to work for it. There is no shortcut. Right? There's people that get lucky, but the chances of you're going to get struck by lightning probably before you get lucky in business, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
create your own luck. Create your own luck. How do you create
Yeah.
your own luck? Right? Knowledge, man, and implementing that knowledge. That's how you create luck.
Yeah. I learned an acronym from Tony Robbins years ago, and it was luck, labor under correct knowledge.
I like
So
that.
you create your own luck, and it's done through knowledge. And once you have that knowledge, but that's another thing too that I see with a lot of HVAC business owners is that there's all this information out there. You can listen to podcast after podcast, and all these people that are quote unquote gurus, like they're sharing a lot of great information. But just because you know it, like intellectually, does not mean you're applying it. And it doesn't mean that you understand all the nuances and stuff that go along with whatever it is you're trying to apply in your business. So a lot of times we think, oh yeah, I know that. RWID, relative weight of importance and duration. So
Gotcha.
you have to give it first, most of the time, most of the information, even though it might be really good, if you're not ready to hear it, you're actually not even hearing it. You think you are, but you're not. Like you just,
Right.
sometimes we have to hear things. I could say something 4 times, or David could say something 6 times to one of his employees. And if the employee is not ready to receive that yet, he's not going to hear it. But
Absolutely.
it could be that next time that you say it, that it actually seeps in, and it like clicks, and that light bulb goes off, and it makes sense. So
Consistency.
yeah. And at that point, they're willing to give it the relative weight of importance and duration, which means you got to keep doing it. Like it's got to be important. Like you got to understand the weight of what you just learned. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like if I share a strategy that added $500,000 to my business after being stuck for 3 years at the same revenue, if you don't put the relative weight of importance on what I'm sharing, and then the duration portion of it is once you implement this in your, it doesn't stop. You have to ride it out and always
Continuous
use it.
improvement. Continuous
And
improvement.
yeah, so that's where I think a lot of the disconnect is with all this information out there. I think that, and that's just a natural thing. I mean, it's same with losing weight. People understand that you have to move more and eat less. You know, it's calorie reduction. You want to lose
Well,
weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit, period. There's no other way. And
yeah. Otherwise, you're
you
going to
can
keep
help
gaining.
doing that, through exercise or whatever, but it's still, just because people know that information, we still have an obesity problem in America.
What
And
if I
people know
said,
what they need to do. So it's the same in business. A lot of times we know what we need to do, but knowledge is not the same as wisdom.
exactly, wisdom's learned through experience,
Yeah. Taking
and
action.
passing that wisdom on. Yeah.
Yeah,
Through learning trial and error.
absolutely.
But if
So
I'll just say this, if I
yeah,
told your audience right now,
yeah,
if I gave you a book and all you had to do is read it, and you would become much luckier in life. You would have a happier life. You'd be much more lucky. You would feel like you won the lottery. Who wouldn't want to do that? Who wouldn't want to feel lucky every single day? And how you create your own luck with the
yeah,
knowledge.
yeah,
And so it's a drop in the bucket in the grand scheme of things. If you really want to build something sustainable that you're not going to work yourself to death on, join the group. I mean, read the books, join the group, but
yeah.
don't expect results without the work.
If you don't make an investment in yourself, you will place no value on what you're learning.
How
That's
do
the
you
bottom line. And that's with everything.
how can you expect employees to invest into you and your company if you're not continuously investing in yourself and back into your company? Because the more you invest in yourself, the better leader you can become, the best boss you can be, and they're all going to be happy to be here. You want to create that sustainability, and it all comes from knowledge. And this
Yeah.
program has helped us implement. So I'm
Yeah, and
super
it starts
excited.
with the 5 power moves to profit workshop. So if you guys
Yes,
want to join,
yes. Get
be sure to jump
it.
in.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get some really good knowledge at a deep, deep discount. That's
Yeah,
why I'm going.
absolutely.
That's why I'm going because I know the value. Um, Once you join, you know, this small investment you make it this weekend. This small investment, you will get a taste of what could possibly be in your business. And I would be shocked if you wouldn't want to know more, because I do. I see the results. They
Yeah,
speak for
and
themselves.
just to be clear, like we didn't talk about this. This is just David because he's experienced. I think David would say, and maybe he can say whatever he wants, but my goal in these workshops, whenever we do these, is I'm not here to waste anybody's time. I want
No,
to make sure that we're giving people the information they need to actually move forward in their business. So
100%.
it's the same way on the coaching calls. I'm not here to waste time. I want to make sure that we get where we're going as quickly as possible. Because to be honest with you, it's like incredibly fulfilling for me. So it's a little bit it's
Well, I
because
imagine,
here, let me just say
yeah,
that I don't expect people to get, I'll say it again, I've said it on videos before, but I don't expect people to get the results I had. And I don't mean like you can't do what I did. I mean, I expect, I
to
don't
do way
expect
better.
it. Yeah, a lot. You
Yeah,
could do way better, a
right. Yeah,
lot faster
yes,
because I made all the mistakes. I took too much
right.
time. I wore myself out. I didn't have fun in my business for many, many years. And so
I
I
don't
don't
know if
want that for other people.
Yeah, well, I don't know if this would be a good analogy, but you're sitting there playing Super Nintendo. I'm showing my age, and you're losing this level over and over and over again, right? Well, then you get Game Genie, right, which is Kelly, right? And you put that bad boy in, right, and you're skipping all the hard stuff, and you're kicking ass, right?
Yeah.
So that's another way I look at it. I don't want to call it a cheat code, but you bypass a lot of struggles and anxiety and worry. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just too many things that we take too much time doing the wrong stuff on. And I did it. That's why I fully don't expect people to do what I did. I expect them to, if they just apply the information, they'll do far better than I did. So,
Well,
and
I
and
can see
David
it.
is
I
living
live it.
proof because
Yes, I live it.
but for me to get to the point where you're at, you're talking like 9 years.
And we did it in 3 years full time. This is our fourth
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
So yeah, implementing everything in 3 years. I mean, we're almost at seven figures. We will be at seven figures this year. There's no doubt about it. And
In a rural market, I'll add.
yes, in a rural market,
In a small
we're
country
south.
country small
Yeah,
country town in Oklahoma. So,
yeah, we're in southeastern Oklahoma. I mean,
yeah.
you don't have New York skylines. Okay,
Yeah, no.
you know, the tallest building here is probably 18 stories. Okay, I mean it's a one building. That's it.
Right.
That's it. One building.
Yeah,
But I love it here because I'm able to give back to community. I'm able to employ from the community. I'm able to teach values, work ethic, and skills that'll last them a lifetime. And having backup and having ways to incorporate things that you learn from the program. Every time I implement something, because I'll say you're not going to implement everything in day one. It's just not going to happen. Just
no.
just by the nature of business, you can learn all the knowledge in 7 weeks, but it's not about implementing everything at once. It's about grabbing it, like Kelly said. It's about boiling that water first, right? You got to boil that macaroni. You got to boil the water before you put the macaroni in, right?
Yeah,
And so it's just an amazing thing, man. I've got so much respect for you and your team. You
I
know,
appreciate that
I
a lot.
can't
It
I
means a
can't
lot to
express it
us.
enough.
Means a lot to us. We've put a lot of effort and time and energy into this, um and it's because you've been on some calls, even on some phone calls. Like I can get really passionate really quick about some of this stuff because man, it it's just like what you said with building people within your community who came to work for you. um, for
You're
business
building the
owners.
HV, yeah, you're building the HVAC community up, you
Well, I
know?
have a goal, to make 1,000 millionaires,
Well,
to
that's a hell
create
of a goal.
1,000 millionaires.
You're about to
But
have another one under your pocket right here.
that's right. Well, I'm not going to get there by just talking to HVAC business owners. It's going to be the ripple effect that you have
Yes.
on your team and your community. And so that's how I'm going to get there, I believe, is that it's the ripple effect. You're going to have millionaires on your team. I have
I know
no
you're
doubt. I'm
I know
100% certain.
I know you're feeling because I feel it
Yeah.
every day in my business with my people. You
Yeah.
get that enjoyment of seeing people succeed. It means that you give a damn. You got to be
Yeah.
able to give a damn in this life to get anywhere. And it goes back to you can't do it alone. Can't do it
And
alone.
tell me this, David, like when it comes to seeing some of your team members, some of them who, a lot of them came right out of school and now you've
Every
given them a
single one.
career and you're seeing their progress and you've challenged them and, and supported them and gave them the training and knowledge and to increase their skill level.
You know
And
what's beautiful?
you see
Yes.
this advancement with them. Like, yeah, tell me what's beautiful.
What's beautiful is I have enough money to keep giving them more money, right? I
Yeah,
enjoy giving them more money. Man, you're making the company money. Here's more money, and
yeah,
I've got the budget for it. You know,
exactly.
you can take care of your people and build a great business, but you got to have the information. You just have to.
Absolutely. Where I was going with that is it's just incredibly fulfilling to help other people, just as I help other business owners. I know that you take pride in and ownership of what you've been able to do for these young people who are joining your company, and
I
the
got the
sense of fulfillment that you get from that
yes.
you're creating something where they could move anywhere in the country and they could go to work for anybody. Let's just say something happened and they had to move. I'm not
Mhm.
saying that you want them to move because you've built them up to
Right.
the person they are, but I still think there's a lot of pride and taking ownership of the fact that because you were willing to take a risk, you've created a life for somebody else that they could use to support their family for the rest of their
And
lives if
that's
they
what it's
choose.
about. You
Yeah,
can't do it alone. That's what it's about.
exactly. Well, man, I appreciate this conversation and I'll
Hey,
be
anytime. I
seeing you.
apologize. I was late on it. Things
Oh, no.
that just means business is good.
Exactly.
Two installs
Exactly.
and we're getting
We're
service.
doing 2 installs right now,
And we're getting
and we have
calls.
service calls. That wasn't
Love to
happening
hear it,
last year,
man.
buddy.
That
That wasn't
wasn't
happening the
happening
last year
yesterday.
before.
It was happening
But
Yeah.
we implemented things. We took your knowledge and we broke it down and followed your procedure and implement. And then once we get something implemented and we test it out and it's working, now let's add the next piece, right? And so
Yeah.
there's so much things to add that doing it in order, you just see that growth, man.
And
But you
here's the
can't,
thing, I wouldn't share the things that didn't work. So you can
right?
put it to the test, but I can promise you it's going to work if you just take the information and use it, which is what I'm going to share. But real quick, because I heard have Samantha jump on camera real
Yeah.
quick.
Hey, oh, I don't want to be on camera. I'll talk though.
You're
Oh,
fine.
look,
No, come on
fine. You're
camera.
fine. Come on.
Because I want to know, Samantha, I want to know what was it like, you know, not having this information and seeing Dave like and you guys worrying about where the next job's going to come from, how are we going to grow this business to
Tell
where
him
you
how
are
you felt.
now?
Tell him how
Like,
you felt.
yeah,
I was like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, she was freaking
I
out.
was.
She
yeah.
was freaking out, man.
And then he started doing it and started changing things, and
I said, trust me.
I was like, it was worth it. Every penny. Every
She
penny.
was really
Yeah.
scared. Like I said, we had 36 grand, right?
That's all we had.
That's all we had.
Yeah.
And a dream.
And you're gonna spend that much? Like, geez, what are we gonna do?
Mhm.
I'm like, trust me, I've got this.
Yeah.
And Samantha, I'll ask you this too is not just the business side. Do I push on David on the personal life side as well?
Absolutely. We're
And
finally
has
getting
that
vacation.
how has that helped with you
So
guys?
yeah, go ahead.
we finally get a break in February. We've never had a vacation, never had a honeymoon.
Yep.
You want to hear something amazing? So the profit from this year,
Yeah.
not all of it, but 125K of it, I put into a CD, right?
Yeah.
And in 8 months, it'll mature and I'll have over 5 grand that'll pay for my vacation. So do you want to have a free vacation? You can learn it by joining this group, man. And
Yeah.
men and women.
We've never seen the
It's
ocean, and we're going to Hawaii, so that'll be
yeah,
fun.
I'm so excited for you guys. I really push on people in our group to go live life too, because I know our business is important, but it can kind of become all consuming. And David's incredibly guilty of this.
I
And
am
so
very
I'm
good.
ecstatic that I've continued to lean on him and share this information to get him to take some to go treat Samantha to something
And
awesome, an
yourself.
experience.
So, and that's the great thing about Kelly and his team is they keep me reminding myself of what really matters. Why are we doing this, right? And
Yeah.
it's for us personally, it's legacy, it's for family, and it's a truly amazing thing to be able to build something that may potentially outlast you in life.
And early retirement.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
well, so I mean,
Well,
now
yeah,
what?
it might be tough getting him to retire early, but
Not
Yeah,
me.
the
you can
the
retire
coaching.
early. I guarantee it, Samantha, if you
Oh
want
yeah,
to, like it will happen. So,
take
and you guys, we know we didn't
coaches.
even talk about this, David, but you guys are business owner or not business owners, but you've uh obviously you moved into a bigger location, but you've added a
Yes.
bunch of fleet and you're landowners as well.
Yep. Yep.
And you would own your property too. If you would have found the right one. Like I know you had put some offers in at a couple different times and it just didn't work out because of the,
Yep.
all
One
the
thing or
nuance.
another.
Yeah, but it wasn't because of money.
No,
So
it's never about
that's
money.
the main thing. So
So you can do a lot of things if money isn't a problem.
it creates options for you.
It
It
does.
does. Sure
I'll
does.
tell you, I went to the Ford dealership and they said it's 3.9% on anything on the lot. You can have anything you want. You want two of them? You want two
Yeah.
vehicles?
Yeah.
And that's because of the growth. They see the net profit and they're like, holy crap, he's a T0 customer. Give him what he wants. Now, that right there is power,
It
right? That
is.
is power to be able to walk in 3 hours, have a brand new truck at a 3.9%. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That's never happened before, right?
Yeah.
My first
Yeah. And it's
vehicle was
because
14.
of the decisions that you've made and the work that you've put in and you've created this, man. And so I'm proud of you guys and I'm happy for you. And, next year I talked to David, Samantha, I'm going to come down. I want to
Heck
spend some
yeah.
time at your shop and just, I'm not going to nitpick it to death, but I'll definitely find some stuff that we want to improve. Cause
I'm looking forward to it.
that's the thing too, is there's always room for improvement. I
Yes.
completely, constant and never ending improvement. I've got a tattoo right here that says that. And
Well,
it's just because I truly believe in that. We're just looking to always improve.
I can tell you just by having you come in, you can look at our operation and efficiency can increase because I can say, look at the shop layout. What do you think of this? How
Yeah.
can I increase efficiency? We're going to be adding sheet metal soon. And so, the importance of setting that up properly for proper workflow and efficiency when building duct. So to be able to pick your mind and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? Um,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, there'll
so
be lots of stuff, I'm sure. But I'm also gonna just enjoy, spending some time with you guys.
heck yes.
When you have time, I'm not there to disrupt anything. Like, but at
No,
least we can go to dinner a couple times maybe, and I'll have to see if there's anything to do in that part of
There's
Oklahoma because
casinos.
we've never
There's
been to that
casinos.
part.
well,
What's that?
you're used to the rural life. It's not much different.
Yeah, yeah,
The only difference is we have casinos everywhere.
Yeah.
yeah. We got casinos, but we got to drive a little ways to get to
Yeah.
one. We got to go into
Yeah, like
Oklahoma. I mean, there
5 minutes.
are ones in Kansas. There are, but I don't trust them. So
Well, there used to be the flamingo over there. Used to float on the.
yeah,
Yeah, we went to that one.
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Kansas City. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been rebranded, I'm sure, multiple times by now. But
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys spending time with me on here